Rival political parties face the dilemma of forming a coalition. In KZN, 18 councils are hung. Just how will they make it work? For more on this, we're joined by Lethiwe Mdluli, who joins us now again from Newlands West. Lethiwe, you're with the DA now, I presume. What plans are they making to make sure that, to try and make sure that they stay at the helm in some of the municipalities?
Well, Masako, I actually spoke with the DA leader here in KZN, Francois, Rodgers, yesterday after the IEC released those results, and we were speaking about those coalitions. But I'm going to speak to him directly and ask him this question: what's going to happen with those 18 hung municipalities in the province? Francois, good afternoon. I just want to find out from the DA, are you willing to work with the ANC here in the province? There's 18 hung municipalities. What's the plan moving forward?
Lethiwe, yeah, look, it's a complex time that we go through as political organisations, and obviously we've made it very clear that we will engage with any like-minded political party that has the same policies and principles and that puts the people's needs ahead of politics, as it were. The party's also made a decision that they'll look at the entire country. So our federal executive has a team that they've put together, and they're currently looking at the entire country, because we cannot do it piecemeal. We need to look at the whole picture globally. So those negotiations are currently underway.
Nationally, the DA leader, John Steenhuisen, was very vocal during campaigning that they will not be working with the ANC. But obviously now, when push comes to shove, especially here in the metro, Ethekwini Metro, you will have to maybe work with the ANC. I just want to find out, has the party had discussions about this, especially nationally and also here in KZN?
All right, from a provincial perspective, we haven't started any engagements, and I cannot do that until I'm given the green light from the federal committee. So we've not entered into any engagements, and obviously I can't speculate on who they're engaging with at the moment.
Will the DA be willing to work with other parties such as the IFP? Because currently in the Ethekwini Metro you have 65 seats and the IFP is following behind. Will you be willing to work with those smaller parties?
Again, I think in the past we've worked with the IFP. It hasn't always turned out what it should be. But I would imagine that if we sat round a table and we drew up a proper cooperation agreement and a coalition agreement and we stuck to it, I'm sure they would be on the radar.
Do you think coalitions are going to work in the province? Previously it hasn't, but obviously the service delivery that people have been complaining about needs to happen. Do you think as politicians, as political parties, you will be able to put your troubles aside with each other and work for the people?
I think that's vitally important. I think we need to put the people first, whatever coalition we go into. The problem arises in coalition governments where you have small minorities who are the swing vote, and they tend to move from one side to the other, or flip-flop, as it were. And that creates huge challenges, and we've seen that in some of the coalitions we've had in the past.
And in terms of having those talks about coalitions, when will they be had, and will you then be speaking to the DA nationally about this, especially here in the metro?
We've actually got a federal executive meeting on Sunday, and I'm sure we will be, as a province, we will be updated on the progress that's happening with the talks at a national level.
And lastly, Francois, your plans, because we understand that you have 65 seats in the metro. Moving forward, what do you want to do as a party, the change that you want to see?
Well, look, it depends on what the outcome is of negotiations. Obviously, if we don't go into coalition, then we'll remain in opposition, and we need to beef up that opposition, and we need to make sure that we hold whoever is going to govern eThekwini to account, and that there's effective and affordable service delivery.
Thank you so much. So there you have it, Maseko, from the DA here in the province. They are willing to have those talks, but obviously they will be having their own meetings, and moving forward we will be finding out if they're willing to work with the ANC, the IFP or the EFF here in the province.
All right, Lethiwe Mdluli, let's leave it there for now. It's going to be quite an interesting time in South Africa.